Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in. We're now live. Got something a little different for you guys today. I'm gonna do a little kind of tip and trick deal going on here with the game called Dune Awakening. We've been playing it lately, and it's a pretty good game. I've got a spot that I found that I'd like to share with everybody. It allows us to harvest a much needed resource without as much headache. And for those who play this game, you know the headache I speak of. So that that is flower sand. You need it for many, many things. And along with flower sand, you also usually find the sandworm. Now, the sandworm, we call him Charlie. Kind of goes with that meme, "Ow, Charlie, quit." So if you know, you know. If not, I'm sure you'll see in this video. I didn't I didn't run across the map or anything like that to this location that I want to share with you guys to harvest flower sand. But that's what it looks like. It's this little patch in the sand. It's kind of got this whitish, yellowish mist coming up off of it. Um, they're easy to find, but they're not always easy to get to. And in this video, I'll kind of give you guys an example, if you don't know, of why it's not always easy to get to. Um, but it can be easier, so to speak. And I will make sure to show you guys where we are on the map once we get there. So without further ado, I'm going to boot the game up and we're going to see what kind of shenanigans we can get into while we travel to the spot that I found that should make harvesting flower sand much, much easier for everybody. All right, let's get into it. Okay. I do have all the important stuff hidden. That way you guys can't sneak in there after me. Do play on a private server with a bunch of friends. They're great bunch of people. We kind of get into our own shenanigans from time to time, but for the most part, we just kind of help each other out, play around, progress through the game. Uh, this is my little base. It's doing its thing. So, if you guys would like a tour, just leave a comment down below, and I can do that and kind of explain what everything is. If you look at the lower left of the screen, you see the blue bar that's going vertically there. That's the water meter. It's very important. Like most survival games, you have to feed yourself and this, that, and the other. Well, in this game, you got to stay hydrated. Before I go out the door, it is all a desert. The entire thing is just one big, giant desert. So, hydration is the most important thing. If you look down on the lower right-hand corner, you'll see under the number 7, that's my water jug. It's currently full. I could top my drink off real quick before we go. I'm not going to say it's a terribly long trip to this location we got to go to, but it's far enough away. So as you can see, the sand is blowing already. But let's get on with the main event here. So where we're going to go, this is where we are. Where we're going to go is actually located right in this area here. It's the Eastern Vermilius Gap. There will be some flower sand here that is not so much on Charlie's radar. The sandworm make it a little less dangerous to collect, but you can collect a whole bunch of it. For all those recipes that you have to race Charlie to go get a couple of hundred here and there. Not so much anymore. But actually, I'm going to set that marker here. So these red circles are sand traps. And they're either going to be quicksand, which I believe are the lines. And the dots are what they call, see, drum sand right there. So the drum sand will actually call the sandworm to you. And you don't want that. You want to avoid that. So map markers are your friend. We made a marker. We'll use it to get across the map. And we're not going on foot by any means. Oh, it looks like we got a little latency on the server side. There we go. But we're going to hopefully avoid the sandworm. At one point, I will show you guys the sandworm. I will let you see what it looks like in all of its terrorizing presence. But we're going to try to avoid him as much as possible to get to this location first. So if you see in the center at the bottom there, the little squiggly line, that's a meter. It lets you know how much Charlie is paying attention to you. How much that sandworm knows where you're at. And right now it's orangish. It's not too bad. But at some point it will turn red. And once it turns red, you better look out. He's coming for you. Well, it seems like our ping is just terrible right now. See if we'll let that settle down just a little bit. In the meantime, what I can do, probably to help that along, kind of reboot things here a little bit. There we go, there we go. All looking good. Wonderful. Alright. Let's see if that makes any difference whatsoever. Doing good. So, as long as you stay close to rocky formations and anything while you're playing Doom and traversing around, you really don't have too much of an issue of getting the attention of the sandworm, which is ideal. Especially since there's so much travel in this game. I think that's about right. Yeah, we're almost there. Now, this next area we're about to run into is the PvP zone, one of the PvP zones. When we go in there, you just kind of gotta mind yourself. With this being a private server, usually we announce when we want to be in the PvP zones, so it's not too bad for us, but there are one or two players that are avid PvPers. But again, a group of people I play with are a really good group of people, so it's not really an issue at any time. So we're gonna go to the other side now, about there, and we're gonna try to traverse straight across here. When you go into the open sand, and keeping in mind the sandworm is always around, you want to make straight lines. Oh, if you look in the distance there, that is flower sand. Okay. If we go around all the rock formations, we should be somewhat safe. Ooh, our ping is just terrible today. Alright, that's about where we want to be. We're gonna cut a straight line now and hope our ping holds out and Charlie stays away. Alright, here we go. Give it a shot. Oh yeah, that's a dark orange. So the next step is that sound wave will turn red. And Charlie will show up. Just like that. There he is. That is Charlie. Holy cow. That is the sandworm you have to look out for. Ooh, that was close. Now we'll get the aftermath. Ooh boy. Just, if you don't know, if the sandworm eats you, you lose everything. Now, the first time it eats you, it's a little different. The game is forgiving. It lets you learn the lesson one time. I won't ruin that for you, but something happens. But after that first time, there is no more mercy. If the sandworm eats you, everything is gone. Period. Okay, so from this point, we're going to want to go to the opposite side. All right, so this zone here, the anomaly, it is surrounded with radiation, which you can kind of see it's got like this yellow hue around it. You can traverse through it, but at the bottom down in this area here on the main hood, you will see a radiation symbol show up and it will start to outline itself in red. When it fully encompasses itself in red, you are going to start taking damage and die. There are ways to mitigate radiation, but I do not have any of those ways. I don't have that capability at this moment. We're going to avoid it. We're going to go through a small part here. You see by how my screen just, there it is, the radiation symbol down at the bottom. Gotta get out of the radiation. It's filling up fast. There we go. There's more flower sand, and that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. You see how that flower sand back there is just out in the open? Imagine racing Charlie to get there. You'd have to pick it by hand very carefully and not make any vibrations in the sand. If you use this tool here, the static compactor, you're summoning that sandworm to you with a quickness. Okay, so we're going to try to go straight ahead. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we make it. Oh, goodness. Sandworm is not far away. I don't have high hopes for this. Okay, we made it. I am surprised. So now we want to go roughly there. That's about where we want to go. I think it's going to be that patch of flower sand that's visible in front of us now. But there's a trick, and I'll show you guys. So when you use your static compactor, make any movement whatsoever on the sand, you will, any moment now, you will see chart, there it is. See how the wavelength is solid right now? It's not doing anything, I'm not moving. But Charlie knows I'm there, but I'm not moving. And when you use the static compactor, see how it made ripples? Charlie hears that. And we can really tick them off. I could really tick them off. I activate my shield. There we go. Now he's mad. It bothers me when he doesn't show up like that. It makes me feel like he's right underneath me. Anyway, so that's the spot. We'll get right there. I'll show you the exact location on the map. As you can see, the rocky terrain here actually goes right up against it. And since the sandworm is inactive in the rocky terrain, he avoids it. It's, for the most part, safe. You can collect flower sand, and those little sound waves never show up. There we go. And that is right here. That's the location. Eastern Vermilius Gap. This actually is part of the storyline, so I won't say anything, but if you play this game to this point, you'll know this formation here. You are on the southwest side of it, just on that side of the drum sand. This whole little area here. Easy pickings. Let's see, 196. Yeah, it's going to be over 500 with almost no problems. And the cool part is, well, I say cool. It's kind of twisted. If you go out too far, you'll know it. Oh, I think the ping is helping me here. Charlie's gonna come after me without me even knowing he's coming. $735. That's almost 1,000 with minimal stress or worry. Now, yeah, it's a little bit of a travel. This isn't an ideal area to build your base because no other resources that you need for mid to late game are actually found out here. Let's see what's available. Yeah, it's all starter resources. There's nothing special out here. If you need copper, there's copper throughout. But flower sand is the main thing. So we'll pick this up and then we'll go see if we can dangle some bait down for Charlie. Let you guys get a nice good view of him. Hopefully it's not something that I regret, but it is what it is. So we'll go where the desert's a little more flat. That way it's not so difficult to see them. That looks pretty good. There's more flower sand over there, but it's not safe. All right, Mr. Sandworm. Hopefully it doesn't catch me too far off guard. It can be a jarring experience. Yep. There he is. And I hope I make it. that's about as much as I'm willing to tease them. So, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button down below. And I'll see you on the next one.